What's up, Geek Girl World? This is Ari, and welcome to this week's edition of Top 10 Tuesday. This is where we count down your top 10 favorites and sometimes your not so favorites. But this is definitely a favorite because this week marks the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future's release in theaters. Back to the Future was one of my favorite films growing up as a kid. And who didn't like Michael J. Fox back in the 80s? He was Alex P. Keaton in Family Ties. He was in Teen Wolf. He was pretty much it back in the 80s. He was a hottie. So in honor of the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future, we're counting down the top 10 best scenes from the film. Now these are going to be the best scenes from number 1, not 2 or 3. We'll do their scenes on their 30th anniversaries. And this top 10 is going to have a lot of spoilers in it, so if you haven't watched the films, I don't know what planet you're from, but you need to go pick up a DVD or download the digital download or something, because how have you lived your life and not watched these films? So anyway, let's start with number 10, which is the introduction of the flux capacitor. And this is a pivotal moment in the film because geeks finally had a name to put to that which makes time travel possible. Number 9 was Calvin Klein underwear. And basically, Marty is in his mom's room back in 1955, and she mistakes him for Calvin Klein because his name was written on his underwear. Of course, that was what all the cool guys were doing back in 1985, writing their names on their tighty whities. Number 8 is time travel back to 1955. And this was a very tense and really intense moment in the film because the terrorists are coming, they shoot Doc because he stole their plutonium, and Marty's got to do the only thing he can do, which is gun that DeLorean to 88 miles per hour and hightail it to 1955. Number 7 is George McFly growing some balls. And he basically just balls up his fist and he slugs Biff. Because the whole entire movie, Biff has had this coming, you know. And it's really cool to see George McFly actually come into his own, and it just changes the course of history at that point. Because he finally gets Lorraine to fall in love with him again, and then it saves Marty and the rest of his family. Number 6 is Doc wearing the vest. And this is like one of those kind of like sentimental moments because Doc never wanted Marty throughout the whole entire film to tell him anything about the future. Never, ever, ever. And Marty leaves a note and basically says, hey, Doc, read this note. Please, read it, read it, read it. And you have to wait until that moment where it's revealed Doc read the note. He listened, and he wore the vest, and he doesn't die at the hands of the terrorists. Number 5 is Marty time traveling back to the future. Just like the title says, this is where we get that titular moment in the film. Of course, it's 1985, so right now in 2015 it's the past, but anyway, we won't discuss that. Number 4 is Hello, McFly. Number 3 is the skateboard chase through the town square. And this is really cool because at the end of it, Biff and his crew get manure dumped on them in their, sleek little car. Number 2 is Johnny Be Good. And Marty really rocks it out to Johnny Be Good. And of course, Chuck Berry's cousin is somehow playing the prom. And he hears Johnny Be Good. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, Chuck, you gotta listen to this. Number 1 is my favorite scene. And of course, it's the end scene. And it's when Doc comes back and he's like, Marty, you've got to go back to the future. And he's got these hover panels on the DeLorean, and he turns around, and Marty's like, wait, Doc, you don't have enough room to get up to 88 miles per hour. And he's like, Marty, where we're going, we don't need roads. And you see the DeLorean lift up, and it just blasts off out into the screen. And that was really cool, and it sets you up for the next two films, which, you know, are definitely great. I love this trilogy. It's kind of like the perfect trilogy where everything plays into each other. Of course, there's like a discrepancy between the girl that played Marty's girlfriend in the first film and then Elizabeth Shue replacing her in the other two films, but hey, we won't go there because that's talking about the sequels and we're only focusing on number 1 this week. So, thank you for watching. Remember, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and also subscribe right here to our YouTube channel. And you can leave comments on like what you think were your favorite top 10 moments of Back to the Future, and also any ideas for other top 10s you might want us to do here at Geek Girl World. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.